We got Mo in the background giving us emotional support. We got my girlfriend's dog staring at me with the saddest face ever. Spring is almost here. What more can we ask for? Don't mind me as I read my script. A lot of people hold the belief that an artist creates her most beautiful and prolific work when she has found herself in the grips of depression. There, she is unencumbered by the frills and frivolities of life, and instead lays bare the reality of the human experience. There is nothing that can hold her back from creation. She has nothing else to lose. While this idea of creating something from nothing may be a reality for some, it's more like a lifeline. When an artist finds herself in the pit of depression, art may be the only thing that can momentarily give her a glimpse of light, a moment of respite. But expecting an artist to live her entire life in this place, to gain energy from nothing and create from a place of lack, is like expecting a plant to thrive in a cave. 2025 was not a good year for me. Facing that reality is extra hard because 2024 had been such a damn good year. In 2025, I faced the reality of experiencing day-to-day debilitating disability rather than my previous experience of hyperspecific, occasionally debilitating disability. In the summer, because of my months-long ramping up less than stellar mental state and poorly shipped medication that is usually able to stabilize my mood, I entered one of the most horrific depressive episodes of my life. I proceeded to live in the hole of depression for several months. In that place of emptiness, that void, in that place of lack, I created nothing. I feared creativity because I was scared of what the act of creation might reveal to me about myself, my mind, my sense of self, and my ego. Good things happened in 2025 too. My girlfriend and I celebrated our 1 year together by semi-spontaneously buying a house. We just moved up the timeline by a few months, but it was our dream house, so we couldn't pass it up. My sister and her husband visited for Thanksgiving. I finished school back in May, and am properly nearing a year without any school. My girlfriend and I traveled together internationally for the first time to Ireland. We went to many a convention and Renaissance fairs. Many good and fun things happened, which makes it all the more painful because even the good things were enveloped in depression, disability, and this feeling of lack. My life feels so much emptier now without creativity. Without writing, filming, editing, streaming, I filled so much of my time and poured my mental energy into creativity, so when depression made it fall away, I had so little left within me. Depression seeped away a sense of self that I had taken for granted. I became a shell of myself. I felt like a husk of who I once was. I had always envisioned that after college, when I didn't have to focus so much time on schoolwork, that creation would be easy. I would fall into a writing and filming routine and my days would be filmed with doing things I've dreamt of doing since elementary school. But instead, work has consumed 8 hours of my time every day and left me feeling mentally wiped out by the time I clock out. I finally understand why so many people fall into a routine of consuming content, be it doom scrolling or hours of television after work every day, and hobbies fall to the wayside. How anyone maintains a consistent 5 to 9 after their 9 to 5 is beyond me, but maybe that's just the disability talking. In October 2025, once I crawled my way out of the worst of my depressive episode thanks to a new, properly temperature-managed shipment of medication, I was hopeful that things would fall back into place creativity-wise and I would finally get back to where I was pre-depression. But that wasn't what happened, and that continued to be not what happened for months. I was in the process of buying a house, moving into said house, and then most recently unpacking and setting up that house, so you can blame it on that, but you can also point to my fear of creativity. Despite the fact that I wasn't in the throes of depression anymore, I was still afraid to create. I wanted my first video back to be perfect. I wanted what I wrote to be perfect. I wanted to return right where I left off and forget the depression entirely. But I couldn't. The depression stayed in the back of my mind. Something had changed. I had changed. My depression had changed something within me, but I couldn't put my finger on it. So I entered 2026, hopeful that my desires for creativity would return. Surely being in a new environment and being forced to set up new systems would knock the fear of creativity from my mind. But then came changes at work, house struggles, homesickness, an injured cat at my house, and a sick cat at my parents' house. Life. At every turn, life got in the way. And all of this, the months of depression, the path that it took me to get out of it, left me feeling stuck. In full transparency, I still kind of feel stuck. Change is necessary and I need to become a new version of myself, but I hardly know where to start. I know that creating from a place of abundance is ultimately what I need to do. There are just so many ways to get there, and no way is the outright correct way. But also no way is guaranteed to work. I have my mental vision board for what I want my life to look like, but getting there feels so nebulous and unattainable at times. I've written this script several times now. Once it was more self-deprecating, another more lighthearted and fluffy. The way I've been living these past many a month months isn't what I want and isn't ideal, but dulling our mind with consumption is easier and much less emotionally taxing than forcing yourself to be introspective and find some meaning or some thread amongst your experiences. I frankly don't really know who I am anymore. I feel like I'm starting to get there, but it's still kind of a far ways off. A lot of what I used to stake my identity on has fallen away or shifted, but I look forward to meeting her again. I hope you'll come along with me. I've been so afraid of filming this video. I've been like procrastinating and putting it off, and that just took me like probably 10 minutes. Bonkers. This ADHD diagnosis in a few weeks is gonna go wild. Well, what do we think of the new setup? This is my new PC setup, gaming setup. Mo gets a whole window to himself in my house that I own. Bonkers. Okay, peace.